The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi children. In the previous chapter, we learnt about society and economy in medieval India. Today, let's start our new chapter, India, the land of synthesis. This is an excerpt from the autobiography of Jahanara, the daughter of the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. This description shows light on the cultural synthesis of India during medieval period. Abul Faisi sings the chants of Lord Krishna in front of the emperor and Rajput heroes rush to help Shah Jahan. The medieval period is known as the period through the cultural synthesis of India. Do you know the important sources of information of that period? Yes. Biographies, travelogues, chronicles and historical works are the important sources of information of that period. Example, important autobiographies of that period: Tusuki Babari, Babar Nama and Tusuki Jahangiri. Important biographies of that period: Akbar Nama, Badshah Nama and Alangir Nama. Travelogues: Ibn Battutas, Al-Barani and Abdul Razak's travelogues. Chronicles: the routines of the palace and historical works. These are the important sources of information of that period. During medieval period, many new ideas were emerged. പുതിയ ആശയങ്ങളും തത്വങ്ങളും വിശ്വാസക്രമങ്ങളും രൂപം കൊണ്ട കാലഘട്ടമായിരുന്നു മധ്യകാലഘട്ടം. New styles developed in literature, music, painting and sculpture during that period. As you know, different religious practices and beliefs in India. Different religions came to India from different parts of the world. Different religions came to India of different periods. This led to the formation of new ideas in the medieval period. Mutual influences of these new ideas led to the emergence of new movements or faith. Yes, let's move on to the next topic, important movements of that period. The important movement of that period is the Sufi movement, Sufi Prasthanam. I think you may have learned this from UP classes, Sufism from UP classes. Sufis came to India from Central Asia. They had many followers in India. The Sufis were those who showed reluctance to luxurious life and give predominance to spiritual life. അതായത് ആഡംബര ജീവിതം ഒഴിവാക്കി ആത്മീയ ജീവിതം നയിച്ചിരുന്ന ആളുകളായിരുന്നു സൂഫി വര്യന്മാർ. Sufis consider devotion as a means to reach close to God. They believed that one who really loves the God will be close to God as well as the people around. They preached to respect all human beings. Sufi saints was known as Pir or Sheikh and his followers known as Murid. As you know, the residences of the Sufi saints was known as Khanqahs. The residences of the Sufi saints were the centers of the socio-cultural activity life of that period. One of the famous Sufi saint was Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti of Ajmer, Rajasthan. Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti opined that reciting devotional songs is a way to get close to God. The devotional songs reciting in the Sufi centers are the Qawwalis. Sufi saints were respected by the people and the rulers. Example, Sheikh Nizamuddin Auliya was a Sufi saint who was respected by the rulers and the people alike. His center was Delhi. Sufis created synthesis among different religions. The Sufis helped to maintain relations among different religions during Sultanate and Mughal period. Look at this table. Important Sufi saints of that period and their places. Important Sufi saints: Baba Farid, Ayodhan; Sayyid Muhammad Jusdaras, Gulbarga; Shah Alam Bukhari, Gujarat; Bahauddin Zakaria, Multan; Sheikh Shihabuddin Suhrawardi, Satet. Now let us move on to the next topic, Bhakti movement, Bhakti Prasthanam. You may have studied this from UP classes. Read these lines. These lines are from the famous poem of Appar, the famous Shaivite saint of the Bhakti movement. The Bhakti movement was first started in South India. The ideas and activities that emerged in the medieval period on the basis of devotion to God is generally known as Bhakti cult. They practiced monotheism, Eka Deva Vishwasam. They avoided rituals and ceremonies. Let us see the features of the early Bhakti traditions. The features of the early Bhakti traditions. Its propagators were the saints who were Bhakti poets, challenged the conservative Brahmanic traditions. അന്ന് സമൂഹത്തിൽ നിലനിന്നിരുന്ന ബ്രാഹ്മണ മേധാവിത്വത്തെ ചോദ്യം ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. Provided representation to the lower caste and women. Rendered contribution in the field of culture and music. Let us discuss the Alvas and Nayanas of that period. The Bhakti movement emerged at first in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, this movement was led by the Alvas and Nayanas. The Alvas were Vaishnavites and the Nayanas were Shaivites. Alvanmar Vishnu Bhaktanmarum, Nayanarmar Shiva Bhaktanmarumayirunnu. They composed and propagated devotional songs. Both the Alvas and Nayanas opposed caste inequalities. അന്ന് സമൂഹത്തിൽ നിലനിന്നിരുന്ന ജാതി അസമത്വങ്ങളെ അവർ വിമർശിച്ചിരുന്നു, അതിനെതിരെ പോരാടിയിരുന്നു. Some of the women saints of that period are Andal and Karaikal Ammayar. Andal was one of the famous Vaishnavite saint and Karaikal Ammayar was a Shaivite. What we have discussed today? The Sufi movement and the Bhakti movement and mainly the Alvas and Nayanas. Go through the text well, and if you have any doubts, clarify it with me. Okay, that's all for today. Bye.